Welcome back to Kim Daly TV. In this video, I want to answer the question, should I franchise my business? Now, I'm often asked this question. People will email me and say, I've got a business and I think I want to franchise it. Can you help me? So technically, I can't help you. I'm not a franchise attorney, and that's in fact who you need to help you legally go through the process of franchising your business. However, because I've been helping candidates explore franchise opportunities for over 20 years, I know what people will buy or invest in and what they won't buy or won't invest in. So if you are thinking about, should I franchise my business, this video is for you. Additionally, if you're on my YouTube channel because you're exploring franchising to try to figure out how do I pick a good franchisor, I think you should also stay tuned for this video because as I explain the pros and cons of franchising a business and what's important if you're going to franchise your business and how do you know if you're ready to franchise your business, and then lastly, how do you franchise your business responsibly? I think if you're exploring franchising, this video could add a ton of color and context to your exploratory process. So if you're out there right now, stay tuned because this is going to be a good one. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kim Daly. I'm a franchise consultant, and for the last 2 decades of my life, I have been helping people just like you explore franchise opportunities by matching their background, interests, skills, and goals to the best franchise opportunities out there today. So if you get inspired by this video and you want Kim Daly to be your franchise consultant and your daily coach to help you find the perfect business for your future, well, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to share how you can be my next candidate. Okay, so let's get into the topic of should you franchise your business. Now, before I say anything, let me say this, because what I'm about to say may shock you. When people call me and they ask, hey, Kim, should I franchise my business? I often talk them down from it. And there's a reason, and I'm going to explain. So I'm not trying to be shocking. I'm not trying to talk you out of your dream. I am trying to help you really think all the way through exactly what you're doing when you commit to franchising your business. Okay, that's my disclaimer. So should you franchise your business? The first reason I would talk you out of franchising your business is the failure statistics. So I've heard it said that 97% of all businesses that become franchises fail before they reach 100 units. Let's spin that positively. Only 3% of all businesses that become franchises go on to have at least 100 units. Now, 100 units doesn't even make it a national brand. So you got to give some thought. So 97% of franchises fail. If you're out there and you're trying to find the perfect franchisor, is that a statistic that might be important to you? Maybe. Okay. The second reason I would talk you out of franchising your business is because it costs millions of dollars. And this is in fact why most franchise businesses fail, just like startup businesses fail. People who franchise their business grossly underestimate how much money it's going to take to lift this brand and make it a national brand. I know you think you're using other people's time and money to build your brand, but as a corporation, it still costs you money because you need support people in place. You need marketing and marketing teams in place. You need sales and development teams in place. And all of that costs money. And I've heard it said that it costs millions. So if you don't have incredibly profitable corporate stores that can fund the growth of this franchise, or you don't have private equity backing, I think you should carefully think through the decision to turn your business into a franchise. I'm not sure what a franchise attorney would tell you. I don't know what advice they give. Are they suited to give business coaching advice? I don't know. I think they may just help you take your business and legalize it and make you a franchise. And therein lies why so many of them go on and fail, because nobody's coaching you through what you're actually doing or what's really important on the other side of being a franchisor. Now, the third reason I would talk you out of franchising your business is because franchisees are like teenagers. If you're out there and you're a parent to teenagers like Kim Daly, well, you know that with teenagers, you can never do enough to satisfy them. Now, when it's all going good, they'll take the credit. When it's all going bad, mom's fault, dad's fault. That's how franchisees are. You're going to do all of this to help them get their business going. And when it's going good, you're never going to hear from them and they're going to take all the credit. But the minute it's harder than they thought it was going to be, or that you let them down in some way because something new happened in the business and you weren't quite ready to meet that challenge, it's your fault. This is one of the biggest ones you really need to think through, because this is going to lead me to the fourth reason I would talk you down from franchising your business. And this is really the most important one. When you become a franchisor, you are asking other people to invest their life savings in your dream. Think about that for a minute. People's life savings invested in your dream. This is a huge responsibility. In 2024, you hear this word thrown around in franchising, responsible franchising. We're all trying to do this in a more responsible way. But if you're out there thinking about turning your mom and pop business into a franchise, please take this term, responsible franchising, to heart. Other people's hard-earned life savings is going to be invested in your dream, in your brand. And again, it goes up to what I said a minute ago. No matter what you do for them, it's usually not enough. And when it's going wrong, they only want to blame you. I'm not saying that's good or bad, or justified or unjustified. I'm just saying that's how it works in franchising. In fact, this is why I am building a global coaching platform, because I don't think that it's all franchisors' fault when things are going wrong. I do think that franchisees need to be more responsible to their decisions. But that discussion is for another video, and it's neither here nor there. I'm trying to help you understand the greater context of what you're doing when you become a franchisor. Those are four really big reasons that I hope will make you pause or slow down and really think through your motivations for wanting to turn your business into a national franchise. Okay, so let's move to a happier conversation and let's talk about why you would want to turn your business into a franchise, if it's not obvious. So, the first reason you may want to grow your business as a franchise is because you're going to be able to use other people's time and money to scale your brand. And this should allow you to scale your brand faster than you could by raising capital and building out corporate stores across the country. Another reason you may want to franchise your business, in case this isn't obvious, is franchising can be an incredibly lucrative business model, but the money follows your success in attracting franchisees, helping these franchisees get up and open and profitable. And I don't just mean a little profitable. If you're only collecting the national average on royalty, which is between 6 and 10% of gross sales, let's pick 7% for this conversation, you need a lot of franchisees with very significant businesses for 7% to be a meaningful number. If you are able to be successful, you could build a very profitable business, and a business that could become very attractive to private equity or maybe even an IPO. And the third reason that I think franchising can be an incredibly great business model for the right people, being a franchisor could be one of the most gratifying ways to build wealth. Because when you are able to successfully help other people build wealth for their lives, get time freedom, financial freedom, reach their personal, professional, and financial goals through your business model, I can't imagine that there's a better way in the world to make money. And I think that that's why those of us who are in franchising are addicted to the industry, because we genuinely love helping people realize their dreams. I know that is absolutely my motivation and why I have been passionate about this industry for over 20 years. So to recap, we've identified 4 reasons why you may want to pause, stop, and really consider your motivations for wanting to become a franchisor. And we've identified 3 reasons why being a franchisor could be the greatest wealth building strategy you could ever accomplish if you're successful. So, how do you know if you're ready to franchise your business? Well, the first thing you've got to identify is, what is your motivation? Why do you really want to become a franchisor? Again, if it's superficial because you think, ooh, 7%, I can collect mailbox money from all of these franchisees, absolutely stop yourself. That is a crazy person thought. There is a lot more that goes into this conversation and building a successful and profitable franchise than because you see dollar signs in mailbox money of royalties. Okay? Really do some soul searching and think through the negatives that I've pointed out, as well as the positives, and identify in yourself what's the real motivation. If it's not because you genuinely love helping other people, because you know that what you're bringing to market has to be brought to market through you, and you have that burning desire to be the one to build this national brand, I would definitely think twice about it. The second thing that you need to do in order to know that you're ready to franchise your business is to align yourself with a leadership team that has experience in franchise development and operations. So the minute that you take your business into the franchise industry, you are now in 2 separate industries. You're in the business that your business is in, but franchising is a business in and of itself. And if you do not know how to attract qualified people who want to invest in your dream and then get them up to speed with training and support, how do you plan to do this successfully? You absolutely need leadership in your C-suite who come from within the franchise industry. Every good franchisor that I've worked with over the last 2 decades has representation from the industry and from the franchise industry. So that is an absolute must if you want to be successful and do this responsibly. The third way to know that you're ready to franchise your business, and this could actually be the first way, these aren't really in any particular order, but this next one is you need proof of concept. Nobody wants to be your guinea pig. Nobody wants to go, oh, okay, I'm investing in a franchise because there's 1 or 2 corporate stores and they're doing great in one market. Nobody wants that business. I'm sorry to say that. It's kind of like when you go and build your custom dream house and then you go to sell that custom dream house, what you think it's worth versus what the market will say that it's worth. They're 2 very different numbers. Well, don't be so emotionally involved in what you've created to think that everybody else is going to want what you're selling. You need proof of concept. Ideally, you need multiple stores with years of operation across multiple markets. Because the first challenge that you're going to bump up against, if you've started in a major metro market, and the first person you're entertaining as a franchisee comes from a medium or a small market, their first objection is going to be, is this going to work in my market? Every candidate has fears, worries, doubts, concerns about if it's going to work where I live. So the more that you can help address those real concerns that people have before they even come up, by showing locations in different markets with years of experience and track record and financials that people can learn and study from, the better off you're going to be, the fewer objections you're going to get, the better off you're going to be, and the more franchises you're going to be able to sell in a shorter amount of time. And speed to market is critically important when you're a franchisor. It's critically important when you're a business owner, but absolutely essential when you're a franchisor. If your plan is to open 100 stores in 10 years, I'm sorry, but there's zero value to that franchise brand to anybody because 100 stores, it's not even a national brand. In most cases, it takes about 400 to 500 locations before it can be considered a national brand. Now, that's not a totally true statement if you're awarding very large territories in a service organization, but for most brands, that statement, that 400 to 500 locations is about where there's major market penetration and most people around the country are aware of your brand because it's in their local community. So you have to be able to sell 200, 300, 400, 500 locations in a short amount of time and then get those stores open in order for this to really wake up and have national brand exposure and that feeling of a national brand, which is what every investor is looking for. Like if I want to just go own Kim's Boot Camp, I'll just go start my own boot camp. But if I want to own Burn Boot Camp or I want to own a business in fitness that has a national brand, I'm looking for one that is either has a national brand or is on the trajectory of building to that national brand. And I'm buying in to help ride that curve. So consider that. Bring your business to multiple types of markets. And in the FDD, in order to show earnings claims, I believe you need at least 2 years of financials. So these locations need to be up and operating because trying to sell a franchise without an earnings claim when you only have a handful of corporate stores, talk about running completely uphill. That's probably like trying to run up Mount Everest with no climbing experience. It's probably not going to happen. And going back to the 97% of companies that franchise that fail before they hit 100 units. Okay. Now we can start to connect the dots as to why 97% of them fail because so many people don't know all of this. They just think I'm going to franchise my business. My customers are asking me for a location. And so that must mean that people everywhere want what I'm selling. And they just go off and they franchise it and they have no business franchising their business. So please use the term responsible franchising when you're thinking about this conversation. How can you do this in the most responsible way? And I'm sure if you have the intention of building a national brand, you want it to be successful. So set yourself up for success. Take this advice. Talk to franchise attorneys, hire a business coach, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The fourth way to know that you're ready to franchise your business is because you have very profitable corporate stores that can fund the growth of this franchise business, or you have attracted private equity dollars. Because like I said in the beginning, one of the biggest negatives to building your business as a national franchise is it costs millions of dollars. I have a personal friend who's building a fitness brand and he told me he's put $8 million into turning his business into a franchise. And I think he's going into his 4th year this year. And he's only now reaching a break even from royalties. So if you think that royalty stream is going to be what you're going to exist off, please. In fact, as a franchise consultant, when I'm instructing my candidates to look at the franchise disclosure document and how the franchisor is financing the growth of the franchise, I say if they're trying to fund this thing through royalty, run fast. That is not a way to grow a national franchise brand. It does cost a lot of money because you have to be ahead of the growth. In order to support all of these franchisees that you're selling franchises to, you need support staff. You need people to help them find the real estate, construct the store, get these stores open, train them, help them once they get past training and they're running into challenges. You need people at your corporate office who are there to support franchisees. And it's kind of like teachers in a classroom. What's the ratio? Are we 1-6? Are we 1-10? Are we 1-20? Are we 1-50? Nobody wants to be a franchisee in a system where it's 1-50. I would even venture to say they don't want to be in a franchise where it's 1-20. I think you need to keep those ratios lower than that. in order for people to feel like somebody's going to be able to help me when I run into a problem. Again, these people are investing their life savings in you. They don't know what you know. They're going to have their own growth curve to go through, and they're going to need support staff to help them successfully grow through the challenges that they have. And that costs money, and it ain't coming from royalties. You need to have those people in place before the franchisees are producing royalties. That is a significant number back to you. Alex Hormozi has a video out there titled Why Franchises Suck. And that video caught my attention because I was like, why is he dogging on franchising? But when I listened to the video, I was like, oh, I agree 100% with everything that he said. So check out the video. But my video is taking this conversation one step further. Alex is more on the superficial level of, hey man, if you don't have any competitive advantages, nobody's going to want to buy your business that's a franchise. And hey, also, if you don't have, a business that's going to show $1 million in top line revenue where people can pull out at least 100, if not 200,000, nobody's going to want to buy it. Now, on the money part, I don't know that that's true, but I do agree with pretty much everything that he said. Obviously, the more money you're showing people can make, the better the opportunity, the more people are going to raise their hand and want to do what you're doing. That's just common sense. So check out that video, but this video should help you take your thoughts about should you franchise your business to a much deeper level? Because I've been doing this. I've been working with candidates who are investing in these franchises for over 2 decades. And like I said in the beginning, I know what they're going to buy and I know what they're not going to buy. And I know as an experienced franchise consultant, what I'm willing to show one of my hard-earned candidates and what I'm not willing to show, because I build my business off of referrals. I want these candidates who go on to become franchisees, I want them to live the life that they were dreaming of when they found me. I don't want them to come back to me and say that they were let down or that they failed in their franchise because the support wasn't there. This is a self-fulfilling world here in franchising. We are all interconnected. We all have to want what's best for each other. Franchisors deserve to make money, but not at the expense of franchisees. Franchisees deserve to make money because you've supported their efforts in launching their business and in helping them grow through the challenges of that business. The last thing I want to say about this question of should you franchise your business is if you really are considering turning your business into a franchise, one of the most important and best things, I would say critical things that you could do is to find one of these franchise consulting companies that are out there that will help coach you through the process of launching your business as a franchise and then even coach you through the growth of that. So these consulting companies are sort of like incubators. They can help you really flush out your business model as a franchise. They can help you position your FDD correctly. They can help you position your offering, because they know, like I know, what candidates will buy and what they won't buy. And if you want to be one of the success stories, one of the 3% of franchisors that gets to 100 units, really, you want to do that in the first year that you're franchising. And that is done intentionally. It's done by partnering yourself with people who can help you know what you need to know so you don't make some of the biggest and most costly mistakes that some young franchisors make, like giving away too much territory, like thinking that you can make side deals with people who try to negotiate your FDD. These types of things, when you grow up, these are the things that will come back and haunt you, and they will haunt the rest of your franchise existence because those first pioneering franchisees will tell all of the others the deal that they got. Or when you realize you gave away too much territory and now you have to shrink that territory, do you think that those founding franchisees want to give away territory? No. And then the new people coming in who are validating with franchisees that have bigger territories are going to say, well, I don't know if I can be as successful as those people because my territory is going to be smaller. There are so many complications to making mistakes in franchising. And it all comes down to people being emotional, because they're afraid, because they're stepping out of their comfort zone, because they're investing their life savings or part of their life savings into a business. And for many people who invest in a franchise, this is the first time they've ever owned a business. So they are depending on you to help coach and mentor them. They are depending on you and your leadership. They are depending on you and your confidence. They are looking to you to deliver on that. And you know what? Don't they deserve that? So if you are thinking about turning your business into a franchise, I hope that this video has helped you really think through exactly what you're doing and has offered you some things to really contemplate, some questions to try to answer, and maybe even some people that you should reach out to. I will put some of these consulting companies in the show notes that could help you incubate your idea, that could help you go to market in the most responsible way. Some of these companies are my closest friends because the brands that they endorse, that they bring to me to help bring to market, those are the brands that I'm showing, even when they are very pioneering or emerging. Why? Because I know that with the mentorship or the tutelage of this consulting company to that parent organization, these franchises have the greatest chance of getting to 100 units in the first 1 or 2 years, and then growing beyond that and waking up to become the next big American franchise brands. If you're thinking about franchising your brand, no doubt that is who you want to be. That is what you want to do. That's why you're thinking about it. So do it in the most responsible way that you can. And for those listeners who have followed this video to the end, because you're trying to figure out what you need to know in order to select a good franchisor, well, this video has given you a window into a world that probably goes way beyond anything that you've thought about before this video. So I hope that this has satisfied you in some way as well. And if you are ready to begin your exploratory process to find the perfect franchise that matches your background, interests, skills, and goals, and to make the match to the perfect franchisor to help you grow and become the business owner that you are dreaming of becoming, well, you know that I want to be your franchise consultant and your daily coach. So please follow the email in the description below, and I will reach out to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I can't wait to see you in the next one.